humanity has fought the long defeat. Space offered us renewed hope, but even that escape route went up in flames.
What's up everyone? Alex here. With so many farming games they've released recently, for a second there I was afraid that XSEED has completely forgotten that there's so much more to Japanese gaming than farming sims. So imagine my surprise when I woke up this morning to find a press release for an upcoming RPG. This RPG was originally announced for Japan in February of this year, but today's announcement confirms that it is arriving in the West in spring 2023. The game is called Loop8, Summer of Gods, and it's receiving a multi-platform release for North America. That's what the press release is for, but I can confirm that it is arriving in Europe as well. In this video, we're going to be talking about all the details that XSEED sent over to me, and the footage that you're seeing right now are select screenshots from the announcement trailer. XSEED's press release reads, XSEED Games confirms time travel RPG, Loop8 Summer of Gods, multi-platform release for North America, spring 2023. Experience the emotions of Ashihara's Endless Summer in the first English voice trailer. XSEED Games, the independent-minded publishing brand of Marvelous USA, wow, what a way to put themselves over, today announced that the original time travel RPG, Loop8 Summer of Gods, will be released in North America this coming spring on Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC via Steam. A coming-of-age adventure, Loop8 Summer of Gods follows protagonist Nini and his classmates as they try to defeat the Kegai, demonic entities who have forced humanity to the brink of extinction. Raised on a failed space station known as Hope, Nini returns to Earth to spend his summer in Ashihara, one of humanity's last remaining sanctuaries. Gifted with demon sight, Nini can use his special connection to the gods to reset the world, with each loop allowing him and his allies to relive the 8th month over and over until they get it right, or the Kegai overwhelm them entirely. The trailer released today features a first look at the game's English voices, which will be offered in addition to the original Japanese voices, giving players a sneak peek at the captivating characters in the quaint town of Ashihara, circa 1983. What's really crazy about this is that when I first watched the trailer, the time travel part wasn't apparent, but that's probably because I was just so enamored by what it looks like. Like from the onset, the art design already looks really solid. And I know this is early gameplay, and it's from an as-of-yet unproven developer, but this is already looking really promising. The team behind Loop8 Summer of Gods includes senior producer Yoichi Miyagi, known for the Lunar and Grandia series, game designer Yuri Shibamura, known for Gun Parade March and Touken Ranbu, character designer Shingo Adachi, known for Sword Art Online, and En Morikura, known for Kizuna Ai, concept artist Kitsunero, known for Amatsu Kitsune, mascot character designer Ryudai Moriyama, known for Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, and certainly last but not least, composer Noriyuki Iwadare, which the press release credits him for the Ace Attorney series, but I know him as the man responsible for the awesome soundtracks for Lunar and Grandia. And just by hearing that, given that there's a senior producer coming from those classic Game Arts titles collaborating with Iwadare on yet another project, that just makes me excited all around. The details on the retail plans for Loop8 Summer of Gods will be made available later, but XSEED also wants to share some key features that the game's gonna have. One thing that they reinforced is that any choice that you make in the world will change it. Loop8's emotionally driven AI system responds to every action and decisions players make. Characters' emotions and stories will vary greatly based on player choices, making each playthrough wholly unique. I find this really interesting because typically these kinds of things are hard-coded, so what determines that AI? Like, is it going to change on a whim? Are there different events that'll affect your characters? Or is it just going to be simply like the social link system that we've seen in so many RPGs, like Persona, for instance? I'm really curious how this turns out in the final product. We're also going to be exploring a beautiful seaside town brimming with mystery. A nostalgic and beautifully recreated snapshot of rural Japan circa 1983, Ashihara is home to a colorful cast of characters, each harboring their own secrets to uncover. Will the player's choices make them trusted allies or mortal enemies? Now that's really interesting because I didn't really think that they were going to go that far to make certain characters align themselves to you or not. So that fact is really fascinating. In Ashihara, you can live an ordinary life and fight extraordinary enemies. Build bonds with Ashihara's residents while protecting the town from the ever-present threat of the Kegai, repeating the cycle to uncover how everyday actions impact battles in the underworld, and vice versa. So I know that you're going to be reliving the last month over and over and over, but I don't really know how the gameplay loop is. Like, can you reset it at any time? How does this affect your relationship with everybody? Like, how do you keep track of that stuff? Because that's a lot of moving pieces. Relive the past to alter the future. Though the deadline for humanity's extinction draws ever closer, Ashihara's fate remains in your hands. Repeatedly return to the start of August, alter your actions, and see how they turn the tides of destiny across multiple endings. Ooh, okay. So basically, you can have multiple endings depending on like what you do. And so this is going to be kind of interesting, especially given that they've established that you're going to be just reliving the same month over and over and over. This can influence what kind of ending you get. So, wow, this is crazy. Developed by XSEED Games together with Marvelous Inc. and published by XSEED Games, Loop8 Summer of Gods will release next spring. The game will be released on console platforms by publisher Marvelous Europe in Europe. So there you go, there's that confirmation for Europe right there. Which, you know, it's really strange that it only said North America at the very beginning, and I'm like, what? Like, but you said later in this press release that it's coming out in Europe, but anyways. But so far, though, watching the trailer, which you're going to be seeing really shortly, I really love the aesthetic of the game. It has like this kind of very good polish like around it that has a really good potential to kind of immerse you into the plight of the world. And as you'll probably see, there's a lot of visual novel style presentation to convey the storyline. And I personally don't mind it if the characters are animated and can really convey emotion. Time will tell how much voice acting the game will have, but I do wish that the game will have sufficient enough voice acting, especially in parts that matter the most, the more emotional parts for that matter, which can really make these sorts of alignments and betrayals really much more powerful. But you've heard enough from me. I want to hear what you think after you watch the trailer, so I'm going to play it right now, but don't forget to post your thoughts in the comments below, because this looks really good, and I can't wait for spring 2023 to arrive, because this has the potential to be one of those must-play RPGs.